The federal government is proposing new restrictions for high-risk offenders deemed not criminally responsible. It would mean men like Guy Turcotte and Alan Schoenborn, both of whom killed their children, could be held in custody longer. The Prime Minister says the rights of the victims need to be put first. Mike Armstrong explains.
They smiled for the cameras, but it was clear Prime Minister Stephen Harper walked away from this meeting touched emotionally. Stacey Galt lost 2 nephews and a niece murdered by their father in 2008. Alan Schoenborn was found not criminally responsible and is slated for an annual psychiatric review a week from today.
Given the love we all have for our children, one cannot begin to imagine the pain and suffering that this kind of event brings about.
Flanked by other victims' families, Harper outlined a new, tougher way of dealing with offenders found not criminally responsible, NCR. There have been several examples in recent years, men who've killed, sometimes family members, others strangers, but in the end were found not guilty.
Our current system allows a triple child murderer to be given fast freedoms and a mother of his victims to have no say. Something here is very wrong.
The government's new legislation would create a new high-risk designation for some NCR accused. It would mean their review periods could be extended from 1 year to 3, and they wouldn't be eligible for unescorted passes. The legislation would also mean review boards would have to consider the victims' families when making decisions. Now, the legislation would not apply to NCR criminals who have already been released, like Guy Turcotte, who killed his 2 children. He was freed in December. It would, however, apply to NCR criminals still in custody, such as Vince Lee. Lee beheaded Tim McLean in 2008 and is held in a high-security mental health facility. Reached by phone, McLean's mother today applauded the news.
I would strongly encourage all members of Parliament from all the parties to support this and get it through without delay.
Now, the government will likely face a challenge to legislation. Mental health activists say very few NCR accused ever reoffend, and the legislation is based more on fear than fact. Mike Armstrong, Global News, Montreal.